So, here's the story. Here is the story I'm gonna tell you here. This story is about me, obviously, but more specifically, this story is about my association with socks. You see, me and socks, we don't really get along very well, like at all. Like, I'm a warlord pig. I have hooves. I can't wear human socks. I try and put them on several times, and they just don't work. They don't work on my feet. And then I take them off, and I'm like, these don't work. And I throw them across the room. And when I go over there, there's only one sock left. I don't know where the other one went. So it's always been a major issue of mine. And it came to socks. I always wanted to wear them. I want to keep my hooves warm inside a nice cozy sock. But I can't if I can't wear them. It's quite the predicament. Can already tell. But with this sock predicament, one day came a solution. A solution I never thought I'd have. At this point, I was at the end of my rope with this sock thing. I was kind of just going, yeah, I'm never gonna wear socks again. But this one day, this one very special day, I turned on the TV in my room, coffee in hand, doing a little sip, and then I saw an advertisement for a tic-tac-toe tournament. And I had never heard of a tic-tac-toe tournament. I always kind of heard of just like tic-tac-toe. This is a game you play on a piece of paper, and it generally ends up in a cat's game. I played it a few times, sure, but it's like I saw this tournament. I was like, that seems interesting. I'ma keep watching, and so I did. And the announcer for the tic-tac-toe tournament telling us about it then came on and went and just said, and the grand prize for said tic-tac-toe tournament is a pair of hoof socks. Hoof socks. Yes, hoof socks. They were inspiring to me. These socks are meant for your hooves. Okay, no, it wasn't. It was just kind of like a fake response. And if you wanted to sign up, go to the tic-tac-toe tournament building, fill out the respected forms, and go into the building. And I said, okay, Mr. TV man who may or may not respond to me. But either way, I went up to this man, and I went up to the man. And I said, okay. I got up my map, a little map, and I said, okay, where is this tic-tac-toe tournament building? Where do I go to get these hoof socks? And I found it on the map, and I booked it. I wasn't wasting any time at all. I wanted to make sure that I got to that building. And I entered that tournament. And I ran there. About 10 minutes of run, I finally arrived. Well, I'm not in the best shape, so I was kind of hopping and popping when I got this. I would like to join the tournament, please. Tic-tac-toe. Tic-tac-toe tournament, that's what we want to do? Yeah. I kind of ran here, sorry. It's fine. Just go right in. Thank you. I really appreciate it. So I kind of walked into the building. And I signed a little paper as they passed by. I couldn't quite tell if it was autographs or forums or a little bit of both. But I signed all the stuff anyway with my name. And then I entered the building. Inside, a bunch of people. Uh, a lot of people, actually. Quite a lot. Big number. I couldn't tell you how much exactly, but there was a lot of people there. And as I was midway through attempting to count all the people, someone approached me, and the man from earlier, he approached me and he just went, "Yo, spider's over there. You go sit over there. You can start with the easy guy." I said, "Okay, well, thank you." I kind of walked over, and while I waited for the guy, I sat down and I looked at my little rule book that they provided on the table. And it was very simple. Play a game of tic-tac-toe. Cheating in no way is cheating is not allowed. If it's a cat's game, you play again. And distractions are allowed. Of course, you get good. That makes sense. To get good enough at the game, you're eventually gonna know all the moves. What we gotta do is distract the other person enough so that way they don't. Or that way they have no idea what you're gonna do. You can distract them and just place your thing down. I say, "Oh my gosh, a little duck playing a trumpet." Okay, your move. And so I sat at the table, and then my opponent arrived. The first contestant. He was about 3 years old. Just a little guy. Just kind of, he looked up at me. He said, "Hello, mister. Hello. Hi. What's your name?" "Timothy." "Timothy. Oh, how are you here?" "My mom wants the hoof sock." "Oh, she does. She does. Ah." And then we heard a little whistle blow signaling the start of the game, and I heard from the there's little chairs nearby of a woman yelling, "Go, Timothy! Kick his butt!" As I kind of just a little ignored it. Just like, okay, you gotta win those hoof socks. Even if it means going up against a toddler, you gotta win those hoof socks, okay? And so I kind of just sat there and I played my first move. He played his move. I played my next one next to my original spot. Oh, he was young. He didn't put his thing in the correct spot. He also put his thing next to the other spot. One of us would have to win. I needed those socks, but he was also a little kid. I was felt kind of bad about this, but part of me wanted to feel sympathy for the guy, but I said no. No, I need those hoof socks. And so I placed my piece next to my other one, making it 3 in a row. And I said, "I win." And Timothy kind of stared at the board for a minute. And then he looked up at me and he said, "Gosh darn it. I thought that by looking like a toddler, I could fool you into thinking that that you would feel sympathy for me. That you would let me win because I was so young. That's not even my mom. I just hired her off I just picked her up off the street and handed her some money. And she decided to do that." "It's true." "Well, listen, small man. Better luck next time, because I'm getting those hoof socks." "Yeah, fine. Fine. I'll leave." And so the very small, toddler-like man walked away. And I felt satisfactory. I felt satisfied. I had won my first game out of how many was it? 4. I had to win 4 games in a row. The tic-tac-toe tournament wasn't that giant, but it was pretty big. And as the rules stated, I had to stay at my own table and wait for a new opponent to come to me. And then he did. Now this one looked like a regular guy. He was big. He was normal. So he didn't really say very much. He was pretty quiet. I said, "Hey, what's your name?" Uh, I'm War Veteran Pig. You ever played tic-tac-toe before? Yes. Great. Great then. Good talk. And then the whistle was blown again. And and he made his first move. I had one last time. I allowed him to make the first move. So he plays his thing down at one of the corners. And I place my thing down in the middle. And he also had placed his thing down at another corner, kind of adjacent to it, a little bit. And what I did is I placed mine down in between the two, obviously. And he placed his down in front of mine, and I placed mine down a little diagonal to his, and eventually ended up with the Cats game. The first Cats game of the entire game. You see, okay, well, I guess we're reset now. You're not gonna say yes to that one? No. Okay then. And so we reset the board a little bit. And I remember I went first this time. I placed my little thing down. And we decided to do the same thing again. We started to do the same little move. But I remembered something. I remembered that distractions are allowed. You can distract the opponent. And so I did the first distraction I could ever think of. Look over there. Something. Cool. Ah, quickly place my thing down. Yeah, move. And like that, he had no idea what I'd done. He was too focused on being silent and looking over there. He couldn't remember what happened. It was weird. But he placed his thing. I had placed my 2 pieces down at like the 2 diagonal corners. I was gonna go through the middle. But he, for some reason, didn't notice. He didn't notice. And so he placed his thing down at a different corner. And I placed my thing down in the middle. And I said, checkmate! Wrong game. Ah. I win? And then he walked off without another word. And not ever saying anything. I had won 2 out of the 4 tournaments already. Things were looking good for old War Veteran Pig. I have been a toddler and the big silent guy. And the next guy, soon after I was thinking about all that, the next person approached me. This person was a woman. It was a woman. It was. And I said, "Hello, miss. What is your name?" My name was Barbara, honey. Oh, Baba, that's just such a nice name. Now, listen, now the thing that I knew going into this, that this was going to be, I thought I had an advantage going into this. Not because of anything bad, but I'm often a charmer when it comes to ladies. I'm good at charming them. I was ready to charm the heck out of this lady. I said, you ever play tic-tac-toe before, miss? I'll play all the time, honey. Well, you certainly seem like you probably know what you're doing. Ah, thank you. You seem like you know what you're doing, too. And I said, oh no. She's a charmer herself. The whistle blowed at that moment, and I knew the battle ahead of me. It was a battle of charms. Who could charm the other one the most? And I played my first move. And she went, honey, that was such an amazing move. Ah, thank you. I'm sure you could do it yourself. Hey, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. And she kind of smiled at me. I'm in the lead. I'm in the lead. And she placed her move down and said, I would have never thought of that. That was such a good move. That was the best move I could ever think of. Oh, thank you, darling. You're too kind. Oh, no. You're the kindest out of everyone here. And she's like, really? You think so? I placed down my move and I said, yes, I absolutely think so. She placed hers down. And I said, and you want to know something, lady? What? I charmed you so much that I distracted you and I won. I placed my third piece down and I won the game. No cat's games for me. And I said, ha! Take that, lady. Ah, dang it. It was nice playing with you. Nice playing with you too, lady. Hold on, let me write down my number real quick. Hold on. Just give it to you later. And she kind of blew me a kiss as she left. And I said, okay. Okay, 3 out of the 4. Now we have the world's biggest champion. The biggest champion known to mankind. Greatest tic-tac-toe player of all time. And I've heard of him before. I didn't know he was going to be here. His name was Steve Tic-Tac-Toe. Not the best name in the world, but you know, if you're the greatest tic-tac-toe player, beggars can't be choosers. And so, he slowly approached my table. And this man was wearing a suit. I knew he was being serious. Adjusted my little eye patch I had on my left eye. I brought it over to my right eye because I just wear it for decoration. And and he sat down in front of me and he extended his hand and he said, the name's Steve. Yeah. Yeah, I've heard of ya. And I extended my hand and I shook his hand with my hoof. And he asked me, ever played chess before? And I said, yeah. Good, good. A worthy opponent. And so, everyone else was huddled around us. We were the last 2 people standing here. Yeah, he asked me if I played chess before. I think it was a tactic of distraction. Throw me off a little bit. It didn't work. I did play chess before. I also played tic-tac-toe before. And we were still playing tic-tac-toe. I said, have you ever played checkers? And he said, yes, I have. Well, you're good at it? Not really, no. That explains it. You can't. He's the tic-tac-toe champion. And so we stared each other off. And the whistle was blown. And I played my move in the corner. And he played his own move in the center. And we kept on going around, placing our pieces. And then there was a cats game. Nothing had happened. And then we took all the pieces off. And he asked me, how long you been playing tic-tac-toe? Every so often. And so I placed it down some more. How about you? 15 years. 15 years! Okay. Yeah, I placed my move. And we kept on doing that. It was another cats game. We got 3 cats games in a row. No, 4. 4 cats games. I said, originally I thought, what is going on? Why? This is gonna last forever. I was attempting to distract him with like the bird and stuff, like saying, oh look, a bird. That wasn't working. It worked on the other guys, it didn't work here. And so I had to go. That's my biggest distraction. I had to do a distraction every one of my moves. And so I was going first. And so I said, look, over there. It's your father. He says he's proud of you. And Steve actually looked. And I quickly placed my piece down in the corner. And he looked back. And I said, it's your move. And he kind of looked at me. And he placed down his move. And I had to prepare for distraction number 2. And I said, oh my god. Okay, look, I didn't notice it until now. But your fly is open. It's out in the open. You're showing your underpants to the world, man. It's all the way down. Oh god, it's coming out of the underwear. Oh god, look away. Everybody look away. And he became so embarrassed. He quickly looked down at his pants. I placed my move. And then he looked back up at me. Kind of a little bit of frustration in his eyes. And I said, yeah, move. And he placed down his move. And I did the very first example of a distraction I ever said. Look over there. A little duck playing a trumpet. And no one can miss out on the opportunity to look at a little duck playing a trumpet. He looked. I placed down my third move right in the middle. I got 3 in a row. I said, that's a touchdown, baby! And he looked up at me and just went, that's the wrong, this is a sport. No, I don't know what you say when you win a game of like tic-tac-toe. What do you say? I win. Well, that's less boring. That's more boring. That's boring. And the whistle was blowing and a man yelled, "War veteran Pig wins!" And I said, yeah! And I ran up to a little podium. And there, sitting atop the podium, was my prize. In a box. I saw the box. I opened the box. And in it were the hoof socks I had dreamed of this entire time. And I said, thank you, everybody. Thank you for the grand opportunity to play this game. I had the most fun ever going against you all. I never thought I would win a game like this, but I did. And thank you all. And with that in mind, I ran home as fast as I can. Still kind of like hopping and puffing when I got there, but I ran home nonetheless. put these hoof socks in the wash and then the dryer so that way I could actually wear them because they had to be clean. You know, there's a fresh socks. And so I threw them in the wash. Everything worked well. They went around in a circle. And then threw them in the dryer. I sat there and waited the entire hour for the socks to be finished. I heard the little ding of the dryer. And I opened it up. And you know what? There was only one sock. I had lost the other one. But at least I was happy knowing that among my lost socks, there was going to be one hoof sock for those sock stealing elves that keep on taking them. Was it muted the entire time?